Hello, welcome to Ganesha Learning. Today we will see how we can do the dark mode and the light mode. This is the famous thing that you can see on a website like Facebook of the other side. You can do a preference to switch to the theme color that you prefer. We will see that with Angular, and also we will be using Material, but we will do a small example for something that is not using Material of any third library. So this is a little bit different, but it's really interesting that you can see that. Okay, we can go in the subject. Let's go. So the first thing, I will create an application. So I will create with ng-new. We can call this application fashion, so just to change the color. And we will put a prefix just to say that we don't use app. By default it's app, and we want to use fr for fashion instead. So anytime you will create a component, you can use this prefix. Now you are not obligated to do that. If you don't do that, if you just do ng-new fashion, it will be by default app. So let's go, we can start. And it will start to create the application. To go faster, I will pause the video sometimes when it's not needed. So we can say yes for the routing, and we can use SCSS here. Okay, nice. You see there is a nice sunshine today, so this is really good. I will just pause the video. I'll come back just after. Alright, it's just finished, so we can go to the application. So we call that a fashion. So just a small remember, if you are in the command prompt, you can use tab. So you just press the first letter after you put tab, and it will write for you the rest. If you not agree with that, you can press tab multi-tab time to have the correct directory here. And we can launch the application. So before to do that, I will just check what I have got in my directory. So you see I have the Visual Studio Code here, and also the application, but I will launch the application with the code point. So I've installed a Visual Studio Code. If you don't have that, I just recommend to install that. So you go to Google and write Visual Studio Code, and it's free. And don't forget to install some package to have a better experience also. But you can check the other videos if you are not familiar with that. We just put code point and we are started. I just pause the video, and when it's finished, I will be back. Okay, the Visual Studio Code is open. So what we do, we go to the terminal, we create a new terminal here. I will just create two because I like it. And we can start some application. The first thing that we need to do is just to install the package, and after we can start the application also. So here in the directory, when it's ready, so npm I, and we can start to install the package here. So the first thing you do, I just resume the situation. It's npm I, so what you see on the screen, and after you install every package, after we can start the server with npm start. So as you can see, it will run automatically on JServe. It's a configuration, so if you check in your configuration file, you can see better that it's not magical, it's just JServe that is behind the command here. And it will open a port for the browser, and we can watch the application, of course, to see if everything is okay. Alright, it just finished. So we just click here, I just press Ctrl click to follow the click. I have two screens, so I just move the screen on the left to watch with you if everything is okay. And we can see that everything is okay. We have the application. So we will just do some small modification that I usually do. You can press Ctrl P to search a file, and we will search for the index. We will press enter and we will put the title. This is correct for Frisian, and this is good. After, in the app, we will just remove what we don't need. So this is an example here. So I will just take everything and I will remove that, and we can see with the H1 this is the fashion. It will be really not nice, but it's just to see if everything is okay. So I just press Ctrl S. You see this is automatically rebuilt, and we can watch this is working. This is good. Okay, the first thing we need to do is to install Material. So I will do that now. So I just stop the server here, and we can watch here for the to install this package. We go to Material Angular IO. So we go here and we can see what we have. We can write this command, and if you correctly read what we have below, it will do everything here, and it will add the dependency to the packages, and also add the Roboto font. Also, this is something that you can do additionally if it's needed. But this is done by the ng-add, so this is really good. So we will do that, and we will check again after. Okay, you see I've launched the command, so I say yes to proceed to install the package. Alright, it asks me for the theme that we want to use. We will use the indigo pink, but later we will do something else for the dark mode and light mode, but we will see how we can do that. I will not just use the custom because this is from the palette, so that's something that you can use with reading the documentation and also to imply, but it's really limited. We want more controls. So this tutorial go deeper in the understanding how we can manage that. And we can say yes here. We can say enter, and we can wait. Alright, if you check correctly the documentation, you will see that he said we will update some file, and it's correctly because it's there. So if you check the file that is changing, it was Angular JSON. So we need that to put the theme. As you can see, it's first before the style, so it is really important because you have the third library, and after you have the SCSS. So this is really important because there is an order in the SCSS. If you do that before, it can be not working if you put the styles before the other. And also you see there is the index HTML also modify, so from the family, so it is used that online, and this is it. So we can watch and see for a further step here. So the first thing we can do is just to write npm to install every package to see if everything is okay. And after we can do an example with some buttons. To see if everything is okay, what we will do is just a top bar, as you can see in a lot of websites, and after we will do some component that we will customize. 2 from Material, for example, and 1 that is a custom things that we can see with a button that we can switch to the dark mode and light mode. So the first thing, I go to the documentation here. The first thing I want to do is something similar to the toolbar that you can see on the top here on the Material, so we will mimic something really in the same way. So I go to the toolbar component here, and we can watch the example. So we have the multi-row toolbar, but this is not the goal here. So we will just put that, the matte toolbar, just to see if everything is okay. So as you can see, you have some example, so we can just inspire by there. So we will just use, for example, this one. And don't forget to watch the API, because it indicates which module you need to use when you are using the code that you have here. So the first thing, I go here, and we can create a component for here, just for the application. Okay, in the same directory that we have the root of the phishing, you can put ngg c for component, and after the name of the component here, header. We will just create a simple header here. What I will do, I just pass the code that you have previously here. If you have something red like this, it seems that it doesn't recognize the matte toolbar. So we need to import the module here. This seems logical. So we go here. If you are in better structure, you can create a shared module, and to put every shared module and import a shared module here. But we will not do something really complicated. It's just for the training. So we will just import directly the module. So if you don't remember, you go here to the toolbar and you can watch what we need to import here. So I go here, I just write and paste, copy paste, sorry, and I just put the toolbar here, so you can import that. As you can see, this is magical because you have no more issue here. So I save everything, save all, and after we can restart the application to see if everything is okay. Usually I stop the application when you install some package. This is really important because sometimes it doesn't have time to rebuild the application also. Okay, when it's building, we can talk a little bit just to say, when you do an application with a design, keep that simple. So if you put a lot of icon, a lot of information, a lot of color, it's not nice. Always be simple. This is the most difficult part for every designer and every people that wants to improve the concept of the application. So this is really important. And always don't reinvent the wheel. If there is a logical something, if you have the logo on the left and also the option on the right, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't put the mix with the things. So this seems order. Every thing must be structural, and if it will be reflected in the application if you do that. So this is really important. All right, it's just a finish, so we can watch the application. The first thing that we need to do also, it's in the app component to put, you know, the component itself. So this is header. If you don't remember, I have put some prefix here for the application, and it puts FA. If it was by default, it will be help. So this is a good thing, and we put FA header, and we can stop it like this. So this is good. I just erase everything, and we can watch what we have in the application, and it works. So this is really good. So I just put this out. Okay, we will see there is no CSS for the right part, so this is really important also to do that. As you can see here, the text is not all right, so we want to do that also. So I just here, and I watch in the example what we need. So if we take this event things, we miss the position also for the flex. So this is what we need here. So I just copy the CSS here, I just write here, and it says what it's doing. This fills the remaining space by using flexbox. Every toolbar role uses a flexbox role layout. So just please read the message that you see. I know you are a developer and you don't have time to do that, but please sometimes to read some text, because there is always some indication here. So we will just remove the example, and we will just put that here, as you can see. The convention naming for the SCSS and the CSS is just to put it's to put a dash between each words. So this is if you have a separation, so no space, nothing like that of underscore, but please put a dash. This is something conventional. Okay, so we can remove the code here. The name of the application is Fashion, so we will put Fashion here. You can put a logo, of course, but this is not the goal here. We can save everything to see if it's in better shape. Alright, we can watch. It's building, so sometimes it can take a little bit time, and everything is okay, you see. Okay, we will put some icon just to switch the mode, as we have decided to dark mode and light mode. So we can do that now. How I do that, I just watch the documentation, and we can go for a button here. So we can here, and we don't need you know, this is a button icon, so we can put an icon directly, as you can see here, and there is the hashover already programmed, so we will use that for the icon. So we just need to see which example this is, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5. So we go to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is the icons here. So we need to copy that, so we will just put some button here just to have some indication here, and we can pass it in the code. In fact, for the tool here, we just need just one icon, because we are not doing a lot of things here. So I will just remove that, remove it also, and remove the home button. Okay. So this is important. If you use the Arial label, it's just for some people as an handicap, so they can have someone who's reading the text by a text-to-speech. So this is really important. So you can put more options here, and you can put, we don't need more options, sorry. So we can put a favorite just to test. How we can do that? We just we have a problem here because we don't have the mic icon. So we need to see what we need for the mic icon here. So I go here, and first we need to put the mat button module. So this is really important. So I go to the app module, and we can import that. This is better to not to use all the module, but import only the module that you need. Okay, this is the first thing, and we can watch for the mat icon. For the mat icon, this is really simple. You do the mat icon module, and you put the imports here, and that's it. So you can save everything, and we can watch if we have a small icon on the application. During that, we were searching for the dark mode and light mode icon, so we can watch how we can do that here. But first we need to see, yeah, everything is working. This is fine. We don't need the right align text, because this is something, you know, for the demonstration here, and this is not really useful. Okay, this is really nice. We can go a little bit deeper, and this is the goal also for the application here. We can create a class here to put the logo. We will put some CSS here, but this is not a really big CSS, so I will just put font size, for example. We will put 1 rem but 1.2, and we will put font weight bold. Also, I want every text in uppercase, so I will just put the uppercase here. So this is something that you can do also by CSS and not only by pipe with Angular. So this is something to mention also. So we can save everything and we can watch what we have here, and that is really good. Okay, this is the fashion website. We need some shadows also below, so I will put some shadows here. All right, I have put just a little bit shadow below, but this is just to do something nicer. So how I do that, I just put a class on the header here, toolbar, and after I can put the box shadow with the value here. If you are not familiar with that, I just recommend to go to Google and to watch some shadow example with the CSS. And there is some generator also, so that you can use easily to have a nice shadow that fits what you want to do. We need to something to switch to the dark mode and light mode. So what I recommend is to use an icon. So we will do that. I'm going to go put matte icon, and we can see a matte icon list to have a list of the icon that we have. I'm searching for Sunny, so we can do here, and we can see that is the one that we can use. Also for the moon, we can search so for something circle of something more, you know, like for the moon, not full, but we can search and we can see there is here what we exactly need. So we can use the brightness 2, for example. Okay, so I have my 2 icon here, so I will put like just here, just to see if everything is okay. This is the first thing that I want to do. I just don't want the color round, so I will just remove that, and we can watch here. This is the dark mode, light mode, so we can put some text here. Okay, we can see if everything is okay, and everything is okay. So now we need to do a switch between the 2 modes. So we can do that with the button here, and we can use the click just to put a variable to switch, toggle dark mode, for example. What is this? I just write in the TypeScript what we need here. So I will just write the switch mode that we need. So I will just put a variable. So please use most of the time private or protected, and we can see dark mode here, and we can say that it's a false, by default, for example. And what we do is just something to reverse. So just we do that by inverse the condition here. Okay, this is good. So I go here, we toggle the things. After we need to put the right icon when it's needed. So how I do that? I just check if the variable is okay. So we can use a getter setter for the variable, but for just for the demonstration, I will go really quickly. So we will use this variable here. So I will put dark mode here, and we can use to see the value is okay or not okay. So this is the dark mode, I will use that. If it's not the dark mode, I will use the other. We can use the string here, convention, so I will just put here. So every time you press on that, it will change the mode. So we can watch what we have here, and if everything is okay. I go really fast because I'm familiar with that, but please take your time and do that correctly. So we are in the light mode, we press here, we are in the dark mode. So you see, there is the 2 mode is activated. Okay, but you will tell me nothing happens. Okay, this is the goal of the tutorial. We want to change the color also. So by default, we will put that in black. So we can watch for next what we need. When you don't know what to do, it's really important to understand what material is doing. So you just right click and do inspect. So this is in French, but you have understand. So you go to the matte toolbar, and after you will see there is the matte primary by default, and this is the famous blow that you can see, and it was override by the IngoPlick. We just mimic exactly the same thing here for the dark mode of the light mode here. So what I propose, we can copy that and we can use that to our code here. All right. We use the matte toolbar, matte primary, so this is the background color with the color that we choose. I put that just red to see that it's working on the color. I don't know if you remember in the package JSON, in the Angular JSON, sorry, we have an order. If you put the style before, it will not do what we need here. Just I'll let you to this example. So I have a change, this is a red, but if you put the styling before here, it will not change anything here. This is really important to understand that, because there is an order. So if I watch here and you do that for the other also, so we have the style here, but I will not do something really complex here. So this is okay. So if you do that, something like that, it can have a mess for to display the styling here. But don't worry, we here it's okay. So we just here the correct way here. Luckily it works, but it can be the case that it's not working because you have an order. And also if we have exactly the same name of the variable, it can be override. So be careful also of the name of the variable that you are using, because you can spend a lot of time to see why my CSS is not working. And this is something just like something like that. So I just save everything, and we can watch the result here. Okay, we can go further because we see I have put for the CSS the style that you can see here, but we need two modes, so we need to do that here. Okay, we will just put the code for the toggle dark mode with the document body class list toggle dark mode. So we will just encapsulate another CSS with the dark mode here, and after I go to the style here, I put the dark mode here. So if you have something like this, you can have the background color, you know, and by default it will be red. So if I go now, so you see there is, for the dark mode it will be a dark or something really dark gray, and after for the normally it will be red. So we can watch here. So I just switch between the two modes, so it's working here. So this is really important. If you use material, you can override every class that you need to adjust for the correct styling. Okay, for the fun here, for the application, I just do a capture of a Google logo here, and we can watch how we can have the same color here. So I will use just a paint to do that, so we can see here. I just passed my image. I just take the right color, so I use that, and we can modify the color, and we can see the value here. So I use RGB2X, so we can use RGB2X here, and in Google you have already an integrate tool here, so we can use that, and we can see the value, sorry, so 66, and we can watch here the last value, 245, and this is it. We have a nice blue here. Maybe it's the same color also. That's the default primary, but this is just for the exercise here. Just put some color that are fitting together, and don't use too much color also. So this is really a rule, really important. Okay, we are good. So I just cancel that, and we can watch what we have here for the application. Okay, we have a nice blue, and we can switch between the two modes. So this is really nice. The second thing that we can do also, it's to watch some component below. So we go in advanced mode now. Okay, what we can do is to use the slider here. So I just write the documentation here. So I take the first example, and we can put the slider. Don't forget to use also the module. So we can copy, paste in the code here. So I go here. I must create another component, but I will not do that. I will just do that in the app component directly, just for the demonstration here. But this is not something best practice. This is best to create another component, but to go quicker, we do like this. And I just copy also the module that we need here. And this is really something quick. So I go here, and sorry, because I'm not in the correct space. Yeah, this is better. And we can put the module here. Okay, this is import. So this is better now. And we can watch if everything is okay here. I just put a test here. So we can put h1, and we can say my slider here. Okay. Maybe to choose an article, so we can put articles before offer close. We will put close here. So okay, maybe it's some price for some clothes. So be imaginative, and we can put the style for the h1. So by default, the h1 will be in the font size 1.1 Arial, and the color. This is really important. The color here. So we will see it will be blue also. So we will go for something in similar blue here. If you don't know, you can also press here, and you can choose in the same palette here. So this is important. And if you go to the dark mode, we want to switch also the color. So we don't need to change the font size, but we need to change the color. So we will go for something similar here, but maybe a little bit lighter. Okay, so we can watch what we have here. And now we will see how to change the color also of the slider, because this is really important here. We have some issues, so this is important to fix it. So as you can see, we have it's accepting a digit because there is a point too much. So this is save, and we can watch, and everything is okay. So always watch the console, read the remarks. If you are not don't know what to do, you can check on Google also to find a solution. There is always a solution for every problems here. So we have something in kind of blue, and if we change the color, it will change also the color here. But we need to do that for below, so this is really important. You see there is missing margin because we have put the component like here. But what we can do to go really fast, but normally it's better to put that in a component. We can create a class here to say that is the content. Okay, and by default we can put a margin on that, and it will be 1 Arial, for example. we must watch if everything is okay. Margin is always outside and padding is always inside. It's just don't forget this trick. Okay, this is much better, but we have an issue with the title. So the title was not included, so this is the reason. And we can watch here, and after we can put some margin button here for the edge one. So this is something that we can do here. Maybe not too much, but this is only for the experience here. We can see already that it's good aligned, so it will be the case everywhere. So we have something here. So I have a save here. I didn't save everything, so this is the goal here. So save all, and we can watch. So always save all of your files. Okay, this seems good. Okay, this can be also uppercase and a little bit smaller. I see that because this is something that you can see directly with the design here. So we can use the text transform, and we can say the uppercase, the uppercase, because this is really something strange. And we can just decrease a little bit, so we can put large, and we can put the font weight about here. So we must pay attention, this is not too small, but this is something that we can watch here. This is much better, but this is too big, so maybe we can put something like here. So we just put a nice title here, and you will tell me, but we don't see what's the difference. So we need also to put, if you are in the dark mode, something darker for the background. So this is really important also. So yeah. Okay, when you don't know, you can inspect and change in live also to have the correct value here. So you see, we have put a component normal, so you can put with the class, and we have a material, so we can customize two things. I will not go too deeper in too much component, but you see this is the principle, so you can apply to that to something else. So you see there is already the H1, so the typography was override by another, you see, another class. So what we can do, it's we want to force, because we want to use our own class here. So I will do something here of, maybe you can just put my typography to be sure that it's override, but actually I will just put something like this. This is much better. Okay, we can put 1, and we can try to override my typography here. So what I will do is just to put like this, and this is okay here. And after, what we can do, this is okay. We can save everything to see if everything is okay, and we can put 1 here, as we mentioned before. Alright, you see the class is correctly applied, and we can use the dark mode. Okay, so what we can do now is just to go to put a background also, to see the difference between the both. So what I recommend, if you are in the body here, it's to change the body background color. So we will do just like this. Don't put the point before body, and you can put the background color. Maybe we will put something really less dark. So okay, just to have two kind of color here. And also we can put the color more lighter here, because you will see nothing if it's too lighter. Okay, and we can put something for the typography here. So we can save everything. Everything is okay, yeah, and we can watch. No, it's not refreshing, sorry. Okay, it's working, but we must to change a little bit something here. So for the dark mode here, you need to put the person here for the matte typography, and also we can move the color for the dark mode for the background color. As you can see, I have put the background color here, but this is applied to the body. So now what I can do is move the part here on the top to put to the dark mode, because this is the body here, so it will be applied directly. So if we do something like this, it will be more efficient for the code, because you're grouping all the code for the dark mode and not to split in multiple CSS. And after, if we watch here, we can watch if everything is okay, and everything is okay. So this is perfect. Okay, the last thing, we see how to customize H1, but you can do for other div. And after, we can see how we can in changing the color for this component. So we go to the matte slider, and you can see already there is a lot of color already changed. I will do just for one color, but we will not do for everything, because it will take too much time to do for everything, but feel free to do that everywhere. And we see there is a variable that we can change directly. Okay, how I do that, I just go to the dark mode. As you can see, I changed to red. If you watch closely, I will show you the component here, and you go on the top of the component where it's indicated, and we can see for the matte slider there is a matte slider, matte primary in the variable. We overwrite the color here. We can do for the other also, of course. So this is something that you can change also for the color, for the line also. You can change also the shadow. But this is small example. As you can see, the power to change the color here from one mode to other mode. So if we do that, you see every color is changing. So this is really nice. I let you to do that for everything. You must just design everything and also be consistent. But this is a small example here, just to watch how you can do that. So just to resume, this is the main goal here. On the TypeScript, this is a JavaScript, but you can use in the TypeScript. It's the document body class list is for the toggle. And after, you can define the styling here for the dark mode. And with the toggle, you are using that. You can override some variable by material, but you can also use your own component, like we have seen for the H1, but this is not really on, but this is my typography, but feel free to use that for something else. But we will do just a quick example, for example, that you have something complete here. This is my text, and I will put the color to blue, for example. Here, this is something really strange, but just for the concept here. And you will do the same here, and we will put something white here of yellow, just to change a little bit. And we will use that here in the component, and this is test. So this is a span. We can use the class my text example. Okay, and we can see what we have here. So I save everything, and normally you will have exactly the same that we have got to override for material. So we have example here. I just watch, and you see this is yellow now. So this is changing the color perfectly. So in accord with that, you must just watch and pay attention to have not too much color, but this is for the example. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, so feel free to do really something nice. And this is something really important because this is integrated in the application and all the user is expecting also to have to change the mode. So thank you to follow me and see you for the next tutorial. Thank you. Bye.